timing. And so the first thing we want to do is we want to walk you through the process. If you already have your Healy, or if this is a new Healy and you're wanting to, of course, unbox it and get it ready for use. The one thing you want to do, we want everybody to do before they get their Healy, or even when they get their Healy, is to be sure you watch the videos. Go to the unboxing video and watch that video. It will really help you a lot in understanding the process. But we thought we'd give you a live demonstration. I've got my partner, Freddie Perez, on the line here, and he is getting ready to share his screen. And what he's going to do is he's going to show you how you set up your device. And the first step is to download all of the programs. And by the way, you have the Healy Edition actually has 2 applications. So you've got the regular Healy programs that you can get from your Play Store, and then you're also going to download the Healy Analyze app, and it may say Advisor Analyze app.
So what you're seeing on the screen, in fact, can I get a thumbs up, Lisa? Do you see my screen okay? Perfect, perfect. So this is actually an Android, okay? And what I want to do is I want to walk through how you actually load up the apps, okay? So on the Androids, of course, is the Play Store. So you see there the little Play Store. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tap the Play Store. Now I need to search for the apps. And so I'm going to go ahead and search. I've done it so many times. You'll see here, Healy World GmbH. Okay, Healy World GmbH. That's where you want to go, and you want to tap that little notice there so that you can get to the apps. And you'll see here we have the 4 apps. The top one, of course, is the Healy. That's the one with the little gray circle with the little red dot. Okay, that is where all the programs reside. So that's the one we need to get connected. That's where we're going to talk about today. I want you just to be aware. If you look underneath, you'll see another little gray circle with Healy, and it has a blue dot. And you'll notice there that says Heal Advisor Analyze. So that's your Analyze app. Okay, so if you are one of the individuals that purchased the Resonance, that app is the one that you'll also need to load. Same applies. If you're either ordering or looking to order a Healy watch, there's the app that you'll download. And then finally, probably the best one of all is the Heal Advisor. That's the one that has a little swoop, like the little rainbow. That's the one that will connect with the practitioners for a lot of different things. I'm real excited to hear about customized frequencies that individuals may need. So without further ado, let's move forward. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to tap the Healy, and again, that's the one with the little red pinkish dot, and you'll see it says install. So I'm going to go ahead and install. So whether you have an Android or an Apple, you're going to go to the same location to look for Healy, the GmbH. You're going to go ahead and upload the app. And then when it uploads here, just take it a moment, and we're going to go ahead and open it. One of the things that you need to be aware of too is when you're opening up and looking at the different apps here, to make sure that you're getting the right app. Again, this is the one with the little pink dot. We've had some folks that pushed the wrong one, and so of course it wouldn't work properly, it wouldn't open, okay? But just make sure that you're doing that. And then also get real familiar. When Terry mentioned unboxing, get familiar, right? You're gonna have cords, and they're gonna have connectors. You need to make sure that you have all of that in your box and get familiar with those accessories, because you're gonna be using them a lot, okay? We are having a little bit of thunderstorm coming out right now, guys, and so as you can see, my download is very slow. And let me just go ahead and I'll show you. You know, you're going to have these little bracelets that are going to come in, and they're real easy to use. I always like to demonstrate a little bit. So you'll see, if you can see in my little screen there, here's the little button. That's what's going to snap onto the cord. And when you put them on your wrist, you want to make sure that you have good moisture on your wrist. And you can either put it on the top side, right? or you can put it on the palm up side. Let me just get this other one over here on. Okay, so you'll be able to put either side. And as Dr. Steve mentioned the other day, some folks are getting better results with them up, and some are getting better results here. That's where it's going to come for your trial and error to see what's working best for you. All right, we're installed now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open this app. Oops, sorry. And you'll see here the icon is on the face of my phone. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and I'm going to move that. I have a special place for it. And it's right on the front end of my phone. I'm going to put it right over here with its cousins. So you'll see here I have all of the apps loaded up and ready to go. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to have our Healy in hand, okay? And you see that the Healy app is there. I'm just going to tap it, and it's going to go ahead and open up for us. Here it's asking us to allow access to the photos, media, and files. You want to click allow. Same thing here, taking pictures and record videos, you want to allow. Access all locations. Yes, allow all the time so that you can use it wherever you're at. Now what we're going to see is the, well, where'd you go? We're having some connection issues here because you, all right, excellent. So we're going to start where we left off here. We were tapping the app on the phone, right? So you see the Healy app there. I'm going to go ahead and tap it. Now this screen is going to pop up and the app is starting to activate. This first disclaimer is going to come up. We're going to go ahead and click next. I have a Healy. Yes, I do. It's right here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tap. I have a Healy. Now you see it says connect to Healy. And what I'm going to do is right in the center of the Healy is your on-off button. I'm going to press that one time. I see the little green light flash. So let's go ahead and we're going to press connect to Healy. And we still have this thunderstorm going, so hopefully it's not going to play havoc for us here. There we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the back side of my Healy over. I already allowed it to be able to take a picture, so we're going to go ahead and scan it. And let me get a little bit better light here. Great. I always suggest that you see that it scanned the SIN number. And you may be in a location. Quick example, Terry and I were at a hospital to help a friend. And when we went through this process, there were about 6 or 7 other Bluetooth devices that picked up. So get familiar with at least the last 4 digits of your device. That way, if you're in a room with multiple devices, you'll know to choose the correct one, which is yours. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and press connect. And as you see, the little blue wheel is spinning. It is now looking at pairing up the phone and the device, which it has. So you'll see here this page came up. And what we want to be able to do here is pretty simple. Where it says settings, we're going to go ahead and you'll see to the right, the little arrows. You want to go ahead and tap the little arrow. This page is going to open up. And so you'll see here, the settings here are in, well, some of them here in German, but you see I do have it depressed for English. The most important one is right here. Click for updates. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go and tap that one. It's now going to search for some updates. And again, because of so many folks out there abnormally being on computers, uploads and bandwidths are being eaten up crazy 24/7. You just have to be patient. So now we see that the update is available. We just tap OK. And now the update is going to update the programs. I'll be able to see those here in a moment. Now this is the next screen we're looking for. The update of the program configuration and text have been successfully completed. Again, don't do anything until you see this message, and then you just click on OK. Now here, this is the program's page, okay? And I always like to come down here, this one that says bioenergetic support. That's a gift from Healy, and when you tap on that page, it's going to open up to one program. This program is to help, again, build the immune system, right? It's a gift. And so I suggest that you become very familiar with all of the programs that you have. When you want to go back to the programs page, up in the left-hand side, you through the three bars there, I like to call that the hamburger. You just tap on it. It's going to take you back to the programs page, okay? At this point, I always like to do the settings again. You'll see down at the bottom of the page, settings. Tap on it, and I want to go ahead and I want to check for updates one more time. And this is going to come back again, just being patient, making sure everything is loaded up so that we can start to run a program. Healy programs are up to date. Fantastic. Again, here there are some little tools. I won't go too deep into them. The top one says turn off sound. That is actual toggles. You see it says off. If I touch it, it goes to on. That's sounds that are made when you're, let's say, answering a phone call. The same thing underneath it is deactivate notification. That's also a toggle. By tapping it, it enables it or deactivates it. And so what happens is you could be running a program, you answer your phone, and a little screen is going to, like every 5 seconds, is going to drop down and share with you the hertz that are going on, and then it will ding. So I prefer to have those turned off. And then again, there's other there's other languages if you need to choose a different language. Let's go ahead and we'll tap the hamburger bar again. It's going to take us back to the programs page. And if you scroll down here to the bottom, you'll see information, right? Just briefly, when you tap on that, here's some information about the company. So just get familiar with your program. You'll see here also instructions for use, manuals, website. Look, this is a small computer in the palm of your hand that will take you directly to some of these documents that will help you better understand and better use your Healy. All of this is also populated in your back office, okay? We're gonna go ahead and tap that hamburger bar again. When you look at the two that are labeled Therapist 10 and Therapist Programs, if you're going to be having, say, a private counsel with a practitioner and they're going to, say, customize some programs for you, here's where that's going to take place, and that's where those are going to reside, okay? So with that, I'm going to scroll back up here to the top. Again, this is called the programs page, right? All your programs are here. I'm going to tap on the gold cycle, and always keep in mind the little arrows to the right. When you tap on that, it opens up the page. Here are where the programs reside for that page. Gold cycle has 7. This is where the 140,000 frequencies reside that Nina is so kind to share with us. So what I'm going to do again real quickly, earlier we talked about having on the palm side up or the wrist side up, having your devices there. Again, you're going to have your cables. Cable is going to have a female part on both ends. This end is going to snap right onto both of your wristbands, if you will, at this time, right? The other end, again, is the female part. And when you look inside the Healy, you're going to see one side is to actually plug in your charger. The other side is going to be able to plug in your cords. When you plug those in, just make sure that they're both plugged in securely, all right? Pressed all the way in. If they're not, it could cause a black little trail, and I'm going to show you what that means here. So now we're all connected, ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tap balance, one in the center, and you'll see here, this shows the suggested use are for the wristbands. In the bottom, excuse me, it says start. So when I tap start, now what's going to happen is Of course, all of the frequencies reside in the cloud. What they're now being is transmitted through the device so that it can travel through the cords, through, in this case, the bands, so that those frequencies can enter my body and start making some corrections. And Lord knows I need a bunch of them. So you'll see the little white line, that bar traveling across. So when it completes, now the frequency is ready. This program is ready to run. A couple of things here I want you to take special note. Up in the top right-hand side, you see the little battery, that 99%. That's the indication of how much battery life is actually available on the Healy device. The one to the right of it, that little fan-looking thing, that's the signal. And you can see it was at 4, now it's down to 2, but the signal is still strong enough to allow the frequencies to come through and for me to benefit from that. Underneath, you see where it says balance. So I know the name of the program I'm running. And then underneath that, left side's 52 minutes is the program duration. To the right of that are the hertz. And you'll see those fluctuate as, of course, the frequencies go into the body. Now remember, because there's 140,000, any one of these programs could have several hundred frequencies that are going to be traveling through and going into the body, okay? What we're seeing here in the middle, so is you see that little pulsing, okay? The little red dot behind it, that white trail, that's what we're looking for. That means that we have a great connection of the device, the cords, everything is running properly, okay? And that circle is basically your timer. So in this case, when it gets to that 51-minute mark, the program's going to be complete, okay? Now, what I'm going to share with you, see, I told you it's white. If the connection is bad, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to force it, I'm going to disconnect. Now you see it went to black. Okay, that means that the connection, there was an issue. And sometimes that may happen even when you're connected. So just make sure your connections are good. Make sure that you have good moisture on your skin, regardless of if you're using them here. Some folks are using the ankles, things of that nature, okay? Now, let's go down to the bottom circle where you see the 15%. All the programs open up for 15%. And here's where you have the control. You'll see left minus sign, right as a plus sign. And every time I tap that plus sign, you'll see it changes by 5% increments. And I think Lisa had alluded to this earlier. Every time that you tap it, you may feel some sensation, a little tingling going on here, right? So when you get it to where, and I'm feeling it pretty good right here. So I may elect to, let's back off of it just a little bit, okay? You don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want your straps to be too tight or too loose. You don't want the signal to be too strong where it's uncomfortable, okay? So now what I want to share with you is, let's say that something occurs and you need to take a break. All you have to do is tap the screen and it's going to pause, okay? If I tap the screen again, oh goodness.
Oops.
Whoops. It's going to take us back, okay? All right. So again, what happened, guys, was pretty simple. All I did was I tapped connect again, and then it took me right back here and started the program again, okay? So let me do it this. We tapped it, it paused. Let's say for whatever reason I needed to leave. Now you see the little X there on the left side. I tap the X. This pops up. Do you really want to close? In this case, I want to say, okay, yes, I do. It takes me back to the program page. I go up to the hamburger bar. I tap on it. It takes me back to the program page. And this Android allows me to do this. When I pull up, you see at the very, very bottom, it's a little 3 horizontal lines. If I tap on that, it's going to allow me to close all, which means all the programs. And when I tap on it, it now has released the Healy, all right? Even though I'm still connected, it's released the Healy and it is closed. If I want to go back and run another program, again, let's say I'm still connected, I tap on the Healy. It will go through the process. asking me to go ahead and hit next on the disclaimer, and it will pull me right back to the last page that I was working with. Well, that's all I wanted to share with everyone at this point. Again, thanks so much.
You got to the part where you downloaded the programs, and then you want to, of course, make sure all of them downloaded, and you will have, if you have the resonance, you'll have all the programs, all the pages. So that needs to be done first. Then what you want to do is now you're going to go and you're going to download the app that Freddie showed you, the Analyze Advisor app. And this app now is going to, again, you're going to need your Healy with you. It needs to be on, but you don't need to be connected to any straps or anything. So you're going to turn it on, and then it's going to, again, scan your Healy, and it's going to ask you, it's going to pop up and ask you for your email this time. So you want to make sure it's the email that is in your back office that's registered with your Healy. So a lot of people have been asking, why do we have to get help changing our email? Well, this is why. Because if people could go in their back office and just change their email randomly, the Healy resonance is not going to identify or connect, because it had to be the email that the technicians put initially with your Healy. So again, you're going to put that email and then your password from your back office. And once you do that, it should open up. Everything should open up, because that's the security that connects you with your unique Healy and the resonance. Now, what I want to introduce everybody to Lisa, because Lisa is a phenomenal woman, and she has been dealing with clinical sensitivity and hormonal balance for probably 20 years or more. She was in her 20s, right, Lisa?
Yeah.
And so she began to realize that she wanted to live in a toxin-free lifestyle, and she became a certified body talk practitioner. And then in 2018, she became a detox practitioner. So I think that's really awesome. So of course, Lisa found Healy. And when she got her Healy resonance in November, just like I did, I'm telling you, she knew after a few sessions that this was what she was wanting to do. And it was the most comprehensive and perfect vehicle to help the challenges that millions of people face for sure all over the world. So what I want to do right now is, Lisa is a phenomenal leader, by the way, and she's just a great trainer. And I'm very excited actually to see all of this in action, Lisa. So what we're doing right now is we want to introduce you, Lisa, and you're going to actually run the resonance program, hopefully. And we're going to do a live demo of the resonance, and we're going to get some tips too, and maybe a few testimonies as well. So take it away, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Terry. Yes, guys, I am so excited to do this training. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, because you don't see a lot about what's in the resonance package on the website, but it is really a powerhouse. I think everybody could use the resonance. I will say though that it's maybe not for everybody. So I'm going to say who may not want to get the resonance. It is a process to do your scans. It's, 10 or 15 minutes. So if you're the type of person that, gets a new exercise equipment and it sits in the corner, you may be better off with just the Heal, Analyze, Search app, or the watch to do your program picking, if you will. So the resonance is a way to pick your programs. You can either pick your program by looking at the list, and it's a common sense choice. Obviously, if you have migraines, you might run the migraine program. If you have back pain, you run a back pain program. But the beauty of the resonance is it's going to assess your energetic field and in real time determine which programs your body wants the most, as well as other substances that you can send to yourself as vibration. So I'm going to demonstrate all of that to you. But first, I just want to talk a little bit about why I love this so much. I am a body talk practitioner, and I was a computer programmer in college. I was a programmer for a language called Fortran. So if anybody knows anything about programming, they'll know how long ago that was. I don't think it's around anymore. But I'm going to just use an analogy. The computer programming was like learning algebra, and then Body Talk was learning calculus. And now the Healy is like having a calculator. So when I was a Body Talk practitioner, I learned really quickly that to help people, you have to spend 45 minutes, an hour, and that's before and after. That's not counting before and after all the chatting that goes on. And you can only help so many people a day if you're spending 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half with them. And it was always my passion to help millions of people. And I think Healy's the vehicle for us to do that. If we can empower everybody to be their own energy healer, then we'll go to hundreds of thousands and then millions and then billions. So that's my vision. So what I'm going to do now is share my screen. And go to the Heal, Advise, Analyze app. All right, why won't my page scroll? Does it every other time? Let's start here. Okay, there we go. And same with when you start using the Healy, the first thing you do is turn on your Healy. And I can't show you that, but you just push the button in the center of your little Healy device. And there's a light on the right side that will start blinking. Now, if your light does not start blinking, what you want to do is push down the start button and hold it for about 10 to 15 seconds until that green light comes on and stays on, and then release the button. Then when the green light goes off, you push that button one more time and it should be blinking. So the Healy will ask if you want to connect. I push OK. And our storm was this morning, so hopefully I won't have the same challenges as you did, Freddie. And it looks like we're good to go. So the first thing you do with a Healy is you put yourself, your family, your friends, your clients, whoever you want to, in as a client. So I'm going to start there, and up at the top you see Add New Client. So you click on that. And as you can see, you get a drop down that allows you to choose if you're putting in an individual, an animal, a plant, an organization, a building, a vehicle, a group, and other. I'm really looking forward to learning more about all of those categories. So far, I've just done individuals and animals. I do have a garden, though. Maybe I'll do that this weekend. So I'm clicking individual, and I'm not going to put all of this in. I just want you to be aware of the information you're going to want to have. Now, the first thing you do is record a person's vibration. So I will do that. Actually, my mom is here. So I'm going to click the plus sign. She's going to hold the Healy in her hand. And then I'm going to click record vibration. And that is a one-time recording. It's recording that person. I call it your energetic address. It's recording who to go to the next time I want to do a scan on my mother, or whoever the client is. So you want to get their name, their birthday, the birthplace. Remember, we have an energetic connection with the place we were born. So I don't know this for sure, but I'm hoping that that's part of the algorithm that's taken into consideration. You put in your contact information, of course, whether you're male or female. And then you want to check this box at the bottom, synchronize client data and related analysis data with the cloud. So I'm going to go back now and pick myself because I've been so busy lately. I haven't been able to do a scan for a couple of days. So I'll do some demonstration on doing a scan on myself. So as you see, my vibration is already recorded and saved in my client profile. That's this little blue squiggly thing you see at the top right. So what I do is I click the 3 bars at the top right corner, and it asks me, do I want to see lists? Do I want to go back to clients? Do I want to save and analyze or remove client? So if I click show list, it's going to show me all of the analyze scans that I've done on myself since I entered myself as a client. Instead, I'm going to click Save and Analyze. I'm not going to talk about the aura analysis today. We'll do that on another call. I'm going to show the resonance analysis. So I just click on Resonance Analysis and then Continue with Database Selection. And here I want to stop for a minute and just show you kind of a demarcation for you to be aware of. The first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 selections are not Healy programs per se. They're not the programs to run with microcurrency. They're libraries of substances. So there's Bach flowers, amino acids, materia medica, which is also known as homeopathic remedies, etc. So what I do each day or every other day approximately, depending on how busy I am, is I scan each of those to see which one of those categories gives me the highest number. The higher the number, the more resonating I need in that category to bring me back into energetic balance. So I'm going to do a couple as a demonstration. I click Bach flowers. I click Start Analysis. I put my fingertip on the screen where the fingertip is, and it's scanning me to see out of all the Bach flowers, which ones would be most beneficial to me in order of how much my body wants them or my energy field wants them. So you see I think there's always 5, at least that's what I've noticed, and it's the top 5 Bach flower remedies that my body said, yes, I could use that. So I look at the top number, which is pine at 55%, and I just jot down on a piece of paper, Bach flowers, 55%. And then I go to the next one. So I'll click Home. That's the little house on the bottom left. Clients, select myself again. The 3 bars in the top right corner, Save and Analyze. Resonance Analysis, Continue with Database Selection. I wish there was just a back button on this thing. Let me tell you, that's the #1 suggestion I have. Amino acids, and I'll do the same thing. Now, I only do 1 of these per day, and you know, that's for each person to decide how they want to, you know, formulate their protocol. But I know that Marvin said, yeah, maybe it was Marvin, said that we want to run these programs, these substances for short periods of time, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. So I've decided to run one of these categories each day, whichever one comes up with a higher number. So as you can see, amino acids came up a little higher. If they were lower, I wouldn't have even written it down. I would just go to the next one until I see what the highest number is. So I'm going to write down amino acids at 68%. And I'm also noticing that even beyond the top one, the other ones are higher too. So you see it went from 68 to 67 to 66, where the Bach flowers, the top one I believe was 55, and then it went down to the 40s. Again, the higher the number, the more my body wants them. So let's say I had done all of the all of the substances, each one of those categories that I said were just substances, not for microcurrent application. And in fact, the amino acids was the higher at 68%. What I do then, I can just put my Healy in my pocket or clip it on my shirt or even have it beside me. I feel like the closer it is, the better, but I don't know that for sure. Then I click Actions. Next, I click Vibrate. And then at the bottom, there's a line that says Select Transmission Duration. So when I click that, there's all the different times that I can choose to run this. Now, what I've heard in other videos is that you want to do short durations multiple times a day. And I look forward to learning more about how to choose these durations. But I know I heard somebody say that if it's an elephant, you might choose 26 minutes, but most of us don't need 26 minutes. Or a building, you might want a couple of hours. So I muscle test. You can determine how you want to pick your duration, and I usually come up with somewhere between 1 minute and 20 seconds and 5 minutes and 59 seconds. Usually the 1:20 or the 2:49. And these numbers have to do with the golden mean. That's how these kind of random looking time durations are chosen. So I'm just going to do a short one so you can see. I'll just do 8 seconds and then start. And now these 5 amino acids are rotating and vibrating their frequencies to me through the Healy, and it knows where to send them because I gave them my energetic address. So again, that is for all the substances between Bach flowers and Schussler salts. Then you have all of your Healy programs below that. Now there's 2 ways to choose your Healy programs, the quick way and the slow, painful way that I like to do. So first I'm going to show you the quick way. You can first select all Healy programs, start analysis, put your finger on it. So my fingertip is where you see the fingertip logo on the screen. And it will show which categories are indicated, or my energy field said, yeah, I would like those categories. So because we can do up to 4 programs a day, I write down the top 4. So that's pain. And I do have the other version. I think it'll just say, oh gosh, I forgot what the new title is for that page. And that's at 57%. And second is the deep cycle, my personal favorite. As a detox practitioner, I love getting some detox every day. And it's so much easier now than taking all the multiple pills and the dietary restrictions. Not that that's still not good to do, but this is a really wonderful detox program. If anybody hasn't read about it in your manual, that's the one part you do not want to miss in the Healy manual, is reading about the deep cycle. Another thing I don't feel is mentioned enough on the website. Okay, so third is mental balance, and fourth is beauty. So then again, I click home, clients, Lisa Lothian. You'll know how to say my name now, Terry. You're going to hear it 5 times. Click the 3 bars in the top right, save and analyze, resonance analysis, continue with database selection, and I'll start with the pain, one of the 4 that came up for me. Start analysis, touch my fingertip. And then this is drilling down to find out of the pain programs, which of the programs on that program category page does my body want the most? And you see, this is the first time this has ever come up for me, and I'm kind of surprised, but hey, I listen to Healy, so I will do this program. It's saying that depression is 62%. So I would do that with each of these 4 pages, the pain, the deep cycle, the mental, and the beauty. And then those would be my 4 programs that I would aspire to do that day. So if it takes me 2 days to do them, that's okay too. I try to do 3 or 4 programs a day. Sometimes I do 1. If I haven't done all 4 in the next 2 days, I'll do another resonance scan. And again, that's personal to each person. If you're really good about a regimen, do it, once a morning for the day, or once in the evening for your last program plus the rest of the programs the next day. However it works out best for you. Compliance is, what's important. So you get into a rhythm with picking your programs. So the other way I do it usually, and I did this because I noticed that even though those 4 programs were the 4 that when I clicked all programs, it's all program categories, it told me I needed the most. When I would scan each program category individually, frequently the ones that came up weren't the ones with the highest number. I actually like to do a combination of both. As a body talk practitioner, in my energy healing practice, I'm always asking the client's body, what is the priority? So when you choose the all programs way of picking your program, I feel like that's going to a priority. It might not be the number 1 most, the highest number of all the programs, but maybe it needs to be addressed before something else will happen. or stick really. So for instance, let's say I didn't do pain, and instead I went through all the programs and found that skin came up as the highest indicated program. But maybe I needed to address the depression before the skin program that came up. So I like to go back and forth. I kind of feel like the resonance programs is a script, but you can go off script a little bit. So you can play with it and decide what you like best. So again, I'm just going to pick one that didn't come up just randomly. And I actually kind of combined them both. You know, if I have some numbers that are a little bit lower, but the program came up as one of the 4 programs when I did all Healy programs, I'll give that one a little bit more weight. And also, if the protection programs, I don't even include that, because you can run as many protection programs as you want, and especially, or unlimited amounts, I should say. And especially with the resonance package, because you can either send all the Healy programs to your body with the microcurrents, meaning you have the wires attached to you, or again as a resonance, just like we did the Bach flowers, or the amino acids rather. So I do the protection programs in between other programs as a resonance, and those I do for longer periods, because you can do those unlimited duration. So now I'm going to do, I'll just pick job programs. That's always a fun one. And just see if we get a higher number. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And I do not. I have a 58, so still the depression at 62 so far is the most highly indicated program for me. So then I just simply go back into my Healy app and I select the pain page, and I choose the depression program, and I follow the directions. It'll tell me if I put on wristbands or sticky pads, or if I want to put the sticky pads on my mastoid, if it's brain related, or one of the ones that indicate that, which now I understand those will all work through the wristbands as well. So that's a wonderful thing. And I'll just tell you a couple of things that I've noticed. First of all my numbers are getting lower. When I first started doing this, I would have a lot of programs that came up in the 60s, 70s, and 80 percentile. I don't think I ever saw 90, but you know, a lot of the numbers would be high numbers. So now they're usually in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and you know, they keep getting lower and lower. So that's what I love about this. You know, most people cannot go to an energy healer every day, but if they have a Healy, they can be their own energy healer every day. Say that 3 times fast. And, you know, even if you don't have the resonance, you can't pick a bad program. Every program is going to help you. Every program, because of the quantum sensor, is going to customize in real time as you're running the program, and always optimize the frequencies you're getting. So think of the resonance as digging deeper. If you're going to take the time to use it, it's a great tool. I just absolutely love it. And the ability to send the Bach flowers and the Schussler salts and the Australian bush flowers that I didn't even know existed, but those come up for me sometimes. And it's so exciting to have all of this, I call it a digital apothecary, right at my fingertips. It's a wonderful thing. And if you have a clientele, whether you're an energy healer or a acupuncturist, then your patients and clients are going to love this. It's a unique offering that you have for them. And I really think it will enhance everybody's practice if they have one. It will also enhance the health of your family and your loved ones. And that brings me to my daughter, who is very sensitive to really everything: touch, smell, temperature, taste. And I've tried using the electrocurrent applications on her, and she just jumps out of her skin. So I can run an analysis on her, pick the program category that comes up as number 1, and then I'll show you it's a little bit different. So just like how you got the top Bach flower remedies or amino acid remedies for you in real time, this is giving the top 5 job programs for me in real time. and you run it the same way. You click actions, you click vibrate, you pick a duration. And because this is doing 5, I usually, when I muscle test, that's when I usually get the 2 to 5 minutes instead of the 1 to 2 minutes. But again, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to pick 17 seconds and click start. And now it's sending me the frequencies of all 5 of those job programs. Now remember, I'm not going to just do it once. I'm going to do it 2 or 3 times throughout the day. In a perfect world anyway. But that's what I do with my daughter. I went to see her and she had, I think, pneumonia or bronchitis. And she lived in Orlando until she had to come home from school and stay back with us. And she was sick, so I went up and brought my Healy and ran vibrational programs on her 3, 4, 5 times a day, and it really made a difference. So that brings me to testimonials. Terry, I was going to have a testimonial set up, but I decided that for sake of time, since we were adding a lot of other things, that we would skip that for this one, and I'm going to record another one later. But I'll just share a couple of interesting things that I've noticed on myself. I really didn't work over Christmas holiday, mostly because my husband never takes off completely on a holiday. He's always on his computer working every chance he gets, no matter if we're on vacation or not. So he was not working, and I said, well, then I'm going to take a good solid week or so off. And then I think on January 2nd, I said, you know what? I'm going to spend all day working on Healy. So I ran the resonance, and for the first time, the job category came up as the highest one. So I ran the job section, and it said exhaustion, acute, I think. And I said, I'm not tired. This isn't working right. But it was, rather interesting that jobs came up when I just decided to go back to work. And so I didn't run it. I didn't run the program. Instead, I started making phone calls. And I had made phone calls for about 40 minutes, and I thought I was going to drop dead. I was so exhausted. And I was like, oh my gosh, the Healy knew before I knew I was tired. That just really amazed me. So sure enough, I ran that program, perked right back up, and made calls for about 5 more hours, almost straight. I can tell when I first got my Healy, I was having hot flashes, insomnia. I had been on bioidentical HRT, but I was weaning myself off with the plans to go on a supplement regimen to address that. But I got my Healy, and instead I ran hormone programs, and the hot flashes went away, the insomnia went away, etc. And sure enough, I can tell when I'm maybe getting another hot flash or 2 here and there, I'll run the resonance, and almost every time hormonal balance will come up. And the last thing I've noticed is in the past 2 weeks, thanks to Healy, I have been on the phone, computer. I go answer my texts, and then I've got a list of emails. I go through my emails. I've got voicemails 10, 12, 15 hours a day, literally with, sometimes eating, sometimes not. It's probably been an average of 14 hours a day. And almost every day, flexibility has come up for me. Never came up before because I do, move around a lot on a normal day. Last night, my back actually did go out, and I know it's because A, I wasn't using my Healy enough, and B, I was sitting way, way too much. And sure enough, I ran a quick scan, and sciatica came up, and I ran sciatica, and then I did do back pain local. That one I just picked for myself. And this morning I ran release, and my back pain is completely gone. Now, usually when I start to feel that sciatic nerve, which I was feeling even before I ran the resonance, it's a week minimum before I'm back to normal. But instead it was probably 8 hours. So I love my Healy. I love the resonance. I hope you all get yours very, very soon. I can't wait to hear your wonderful stories as well. Back to you, Terry.
Thank you, Lisa. I actually was, when you're getting ready to download your resonance app, remember, these are 2 different apps. Freddie just showed you how to download the Healy app programs, okay? And then when you're ready to use your resonance app, you're going to download the Resonance Analyze Advisor app. So again, one of the big things that's going to come up when you first set it up is it's going to ask you, it's going to propagate a master key, okay? So I just want everybody to be aware what the computer and the phone are going to do the master key. And it's going to come up and it's going to say, where do you want to save your master key? So you want to save it initially in your email. And what you want to do, and this is very important, you want to have 2 places, and I would recommend a folder, Healy Resonance Master Key, on your computer and maybe in the cloud. That would be a good suggestion. Now, everybody's asking, well, why did I have to propagate this master key? Well, here's why. Say you decide you want to put your resonance on a tablet or another phone. Well, in order to do that, you are going to have to use your master key. So don't lose it, because all it's going to do is that is your security for you, because that's how we don't see. In other words, if we didn't have that master key, well, heck, you could have everybody running around putting the resonance programs on all kinds of software tablets. And of course, we don't want that. So just wanted to share that real quickly about the master key.
I wanted to go back just for 1 second, because we talked about, of course, the different devices, Apple products, Android products, and you have to keep in mind they have different hardware and different software. Okay, older phones, newer phones, we've worked through quite a few. Okay, and so there could be a couple of little challenges, but again, some extreme patience is all you need, because they're easily resolved. Okay, so don't get too frustrated. If you come in like you saw me click that one time and boom, it fired up, because once you get it rolling, once you get those phones and those devices paired up, it becomes smooth as silk. I just wanted to share that. Over to you, Lisa. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Terry, so much for moderating today. And thank you, Freddie, for showing us all that techie stuff that I'm not the greatest at showing. So I'm glad we had the team here. A couple of things I want to add is, and this is not about the resonance, but make sure you're drinking plenty of water, and make sure you're getting plenty of minerals. This is an electrical microcurrent application, and it travels through your body on the minerals in your body. So if you're not getting a great connection, it could be because you're either dehydrated internally or on the surface of your skin, or both, or you have low minerals. Also, you want to ground. If you don't know what grounding is, Google it, but it's as simple as walking outside barefoot in the grass. And it's a wonderful thing, but it's really important when you do the programs, because you're increasing some metabolistic, if that's a word, processes, and grounding helps release any extra energy. That's my very techie explanation of it, the best I can do. And absolutely, let's have some fun. We've been working like crazy. I want to just take my hat off to everybody on my team that has done such an amazing job. They've been working around the clock. Everybody has been really patient. I know we've had some bumps in the road, but if you knew the things that we're hearing now that are going to happen in the future, you are going to know it's so well worth it. And yes, the Healy can be glitchy because every phone's different. Everybody's Wi-Fi has a different speed, etc. Don't throw it against the wall. Just be patient. And once you get it running, just start the program or one of the stress programs, and you'll be all better. And you're going to love your Healy. You're going to love your resonance if you get it. And we're here to help you every step of the way.
I'd like to jump in for just 1 sec here. First of all, I want to thank you for doing such an amazing presentation. Thank you all. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Freddie. Thank you, Terry. One quick thing, there was a little minor step that was skipped in the setup that I just want to make sure everyone remembers, and that is to take a photograph because again, we're working in the information field, so it's nice to have as much information as we can. And a photograph is a very important piece of information. So you can either take a direct photograph of yourself in the selfie mode, or you can choose a photo that you've taken of yourself that you have saved in your gallery. And you definitely want to add that to the initial step. Number two.
Yeah, and that's in the resonance. Make sure they know. That's when you put a client in your resonance app. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, you want to take a picture. And that's in the client information for each client.
And then the other thing I want to just say is I want to remark with what Lisa said earlier about the bioenergetic balance program, the gift that was given to us. And it's an amazing gift and a very special gift. And it was a gift that was created for our times right now and our situation right now to strengthen our immune systems because of what we are dealing with on the planet. And I just personally tell everyone that I work with, regardless of what other programs you run per day, try to find the time to run the bioenergetic balance program at least once a day.
And can I add, Steve, that's a good point. That is not going to come up in your resonance scan. So add that in as one of your 3 or 4. That's a great point, yes.
So thanks everybody for being here.